again so soon. Didn't it go well with the prince? Oh, I had almost right. Did the prince fail to meet your standard? And your fan had to fend off all his attention and admiration. Did you dismiss him and take your leave? No! You're awfully quiet. What happened there?
Do you have to rub it in, Sophia, really?
I know you stop all your elegance on the prince. I am sure he was really impressed. That's probably why he ran off so fast. He was too intimidated to stay impressed.
I cannot do those long sentences all over time with that voice.
Present of such perfection.
I need to stop singing so much with her.
And I'm glad you gave me this opportunity to point out again how great an example you are for me. Please enlighten me as to what the key pillars to your...
Oh, will you show up already, Sophia? I know I fail over and over again, but you won't work any better, I'm sure of it.
Enough! If there are ever a time when I expect you two to focus, this is it, so stop your bickering like little children, huh? Sophia, stop with this pointless remark. Want to show your sister? Then go and prove you can do what she failed at.
I never said I could, and I'm not sure whether...
Oh, really? Not so sure of yourself? Suddenly, are you not, though, Sophia? I had to go forward there and try to do my best. Now you have to do that too, you know.
Stop your whining. Stand up straight. Keep your chest forward. Maybe for once your silly books will have their use. I heard the prince reads a lot. Use your brain to take him in. Okay, my darling?
You never called me darling before. He does? What does he read?
I don't know, and I don't care about such shit thing as books. Just try to use it to your advantage. If this doesn't work, you're not as pretty as your sister, so just flatter him a lot. You can do it, right, girl?
Right, I'm sure he's not used to that.
If there's anything else you would like to add to this conversation, Sophia? If not, then I suggest you go and charm the prince. Charm him with the magic I've given you.
And what about Gloria?
Your sister and I are going to have a little chat while you're gone. You concentrate on the prince, Sophia. Be seductive. Go!
I'll miss you. Pleasant chat with Mother Gloria. And I was hoping for a good show.
Oh, just go now, Sophia. You're terrible to me all the time. You know that, right? And off she go to meet the prince.
Good evening, your grace. Oh, I do hope I used the right style.
Good evening, my lady. It is one of the conversational titles used when undressing kings. So no, not really. At least not yet.
Oops, looks like I blew it already.
I wouldn't worry about that. I never understood all those subtleties myself, nor cared for them, for the matter.
I must be really lucky then, since I don't care much for titles myself. Never seen the purpose.
You do not? Quite a rare day. Rare trait for a daughter of a noble house.
And much more importantly, daughter of a powerful and ambitious lady. Don't forget about women agendas, Your Highness. They tend to be pretty hard to overlook anyway.
Oh, is that so?
Oh yes, quite an overbearing character. That mother of ours, she even made us wear these dresses, you see. Have you ever worn a corset this tight, my prince?
I think you went a little too far, Sophia. Look how shocked he is. Look at those eyes. He's like, deer in headlights. No, I never had a
Chance, opportunity. Oh, neither had I until today. But it doesn't really matter, because we all have roles to play and tasks to fulfill. After all, a single night can change the fate of many. Whole families, great houses, dynasties, etc.
I can see you're quite upset, my lady.
I am only the younger daughter, and my mother wasn't born into ladyship, so it's second-hand nobility you're speaking to. You don't have to ladle me, my prince.
All right, if you say so. So, are you here because your mother asked you to come against your will?
Yes, it's exactly why I'm here. Because I'm a good girl willing to play her part.
In that case, would you believe it if I said the reason why I'm here is not that different from yours? I guess you could call it
A family obligation.
yes, although my oppressive parent is here in spirit alone, his legacy is omnipresent, his influence palpable.
I thought the wine tasted funny.
Huh?
Oh, you don't have to play that Sherlock on me. If you're anything like me, and your father was even slightly similar to my mother, I'd love a joke like that won't make you blink.
You're right. Having spent all my life among people trained to keep up appearance, I picked up all the conversational reflexes. Like acting shocked when someone is making a joke about your dead parent, even though everyone knows he wasn't as good a father as he was a king.
I feel lucky already. At least nobody ever forced me into a mold of politeness. I shudder at the thought of someone trying. Such a silly concept is politeness. Lying to each other in the name of good manners, as if honesty was advice.
You are a very original young woman. You know that?
Isn't original one of the categories physicians use when they look you up in an asylum?
Technically, that I think it's innovative. Yeah. And I'm serious. I'm glad you're here. I love to get to know you better. I wonder if it's going better here for Sophia because I chose her options more often, like helping Sophia instead of Glory and all that. Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, sure, look around. I must shine like a real gem in these murky waters of lies and intrigue, pure and innocent like a morning breeze. Oh, how lovely it must be to royalty and speak like that all this time, rather than just when you had too much wine.
You think so?
Unfortunately, I don't really care that much for polished speak coming from anyone who probably wants something from me.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm not really queen material. I'm too stupid to rule over anything. So hold that flood of appreciation and keep flattering yourself. Thank you.
You may be many things, my lady, but you certainly don't seem stupid.
Yeah, my wit exceeds even my beauty. Listen, I don't care, alright. I don't want to be here, nothing you can say will change that. Actually, I think it's just going to go now. I've done my job, made a conversation, I with and my sister. I think it's time to finish this. So take care, Prince. Nice ball and everything.
So, she actually had the quality there to become queen for him, but she didn't want it. Wonderful, wonderful. What the heavens? The ball is turning into a madhouse rather rapidly. Too bad though. This one I started to like. Back to the garden? No? Oh, Cinder.
Alright, I almost stand all ready, and dressed up all pretty and nice. I'm gonna be a princess, yay!
Time to make my grand entrance. What will the dress be like? They had many different colors in the Disney that they tried to mix it all up until they actually decided on that light blue. Some say it was spinning. Sugar glass like that. To the palace! Cinders go. Oh, these three again. I wanted to say Cinder.
A complete and utter disaster! You have no idea how much this will cost our family. You had a chance to secure the future for yourself and you didn't take it. You didn't want it. You imbecile! As for your children and their children, you'll be very lucky to find a single man in the kingdom willing to court you after the display you gave tonight.
And good riddance.
What did you say, little missy? You're being up-nose with me?
Oh, mother, look, there's some commotion in the ballroom. I think someone important has arrived. Someone very, very important. Who can it be, I wonder?
Indeed. However that is, they can afford to be late. So I'm guessing it really has to be someone important. Yeah.
And it's Cinder coming down the ball stair. Everyone has gone silent. What is going on? Suddenly she have cleaved at least, but still I'm not sure about that dress. Don't seem that magnific. Wonder if the fairies would have done better. Looks like we have a latecomer, and an interesting one at that.
Why? Why can't I remember? Oh.
I'm going to have to make something there like a counter in the end of all this series, like counting out how many times I hit myself. That is a mighty fine dress. I don't applaud her lack of punctuality, but she certainly knows how to make an entrance. I wonder who she might be.
I don't think punctuality is among the top qualities expected from a future queen, my prince.
What about stunning looks?
Not a prerequisite, but then again, neither is courage, and the one clearly has plenty of both. Watch out, my prince, she's coming for you.
Ow!
I locked my arm so I wouldn't punch myself, and then my other one hit me. Why? Why do you hit yourself so much? Good evening, your highness. And to you too, captain.
Good evening, my lady. Now, if you please, excuse me, my prince.
Good evening, my lady. I have noticed you only just arrived. I hope you're not offended by my late arrival, prince. This hall is so magnificent and tastefully arranged that it would be a crime to disrupt their harmony by careless attire. Not at all, my lady. It often takes an outsider's perspective to make us realize the beauty we have grown accustomed to. Especially if it's tangled with memories not equally beautiful. I agree, from my experience people tend to use beauty as a mask for pain. I guess fine halls are no exception. Neither is exquisite wardrobe. Look around you, my lady. The people you see, beautifully dressed and smiling radically. Do you think they are happy? They remind me too much of my own family for me to risk claiming they are happy. Who would have suspected such a young and serene woman to have such painful experiences? Now, who would have suspected it from a prince? One would rather imagine him to lead a life of bliss. A sharp remark. Indeed, it can be blissful as it is ignorant. In truth, a monarch is a servant as much as a ruler. A crown or not, a king is just a man, especially dependent on circumstances and other expectation like the rest of us. Good said, Cinder. It raises an interesting question, since the king and the commoner differ so slightly, shouldn't the people be allowed to rule themselves? And that's what he wants too! You want what he wants without him saying it. Now you have him in your hand. Take him home. Actually, let him take you home. I see you're quite a revolutionary. Did you secretly hope to overthrow me? Why not? There's nothing secret about it. Beside, rumor has it your highness is planning a revolution of sorts himself. I must admit, you are an intriguing woman, my lady. Very different from the people who came here today. They don't seem to be even slightly bothered by the mask they have to wear. I wonder if it's so because they wear them every single day as well. But you are different. You may be wearing a mask, but you speak to me plainly and honestly, risking being misunderstood or simply rejected. I can appreciate that, even if you did leave me a bit flabbergasted. I know exactly what you mean, your highness. Being raised in a place filled with the sight and spite, I learned very well the value of masks. When threatened, people will rather forget who they are than risk being hurt. And if their surrounding require it, they will lose themselves forever, only to survive. We are all slave to convention, from a servant to a lord. I must admit I find the dictum terrifying, that all of us are merely actors on some stage set out for us. Be it others or fate, being determined by things we can't control is frightening, I know it all too well. You speak of your family. I am, it isn't a light story, Your Highness. Definitely not a topic for a polite and charming conversation to make the time pass more pleasantly. I would like to hear about it, nevertheless. If I'm not asking for too much, please tell me about your family, my lady. How could I refuse you, my prince? Well, my mother died in labor, bringing me into this world. My father eventually remarried a woman who already had 2 daughters. He died soon after that, so now I live with my stepmother and her 2 daughters. That is strange. I've never heard of a noble house with 3 daughters and no father. I recall one family of a widow with 2 daughters. So, how is it possible, my lady? I mean, stepmother doesn't see me as one of her daughters. She allowed me to stay in her house under one condition: I work as a servant for bed and board. Those who are familiar with the family knows of my existence. As for others, I wouldn't be surprised if she told everyone she has 2 daughters and that is that. That's unbelievable. I did warn you about this topic. It isn't very entertaining. No, I'm glad you told me about it. It showed me how ignorant I still am, and how little I know about my own realm. Well, in that case, I'm glad you asked about my life. Yay! Look at me, babbling like a lunatic. You must be wondering whatever happened to royal manners. I forced you to speak about things which you must find painful during a ball, when we are supposed to be taking our minds off unpleasant things. Please allow me to make amends. Would you do me the honor?
Yeah, let's dance!
Oh, you're not a dancer. Come on, Cinder, let's dance. We wanna dance with the prince. We don't get this chance very often. We wanna dance. Let's twist again, like we did last summer, okay? Don't worry, my lady. I'll show you. Oh, wow! This handsomeness just increased tenfold there in this angle. I don't know. This is really his best side, I can tell you.